Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. This is the National News Telecast. I'm Moon Hetiarchi.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifah Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
Numerous religious activities have been organized island-wide to mark the full moon Poya Day. The biggest moon of the year shines today. Vatican Secretary for International Relations meets the Prime Minister. 330,000 Sri Lankans to go for foreign employment next year. Tsunami rehearsals held in line with the World Tsunami Disaster Awareness. Raids to nab the narcotics under nationwide national mission continues. 1,197 have been arrested. The World Food Programme supports the food and nutritional safety in Sri Lanka. The government focuses attention to develop the Kohanavala area in Madalsima. Kalmegi cyclone claims 66 lives. Number of disappeared is 24. Now to those and more stories in detail on today's top story, full moon Poya Day, which is a significant event for many Buddhists in the country, falls today.
Many religious activities have been organized in temples and Buddhist centers island-wide to mark the Poya Day. The month of Katina Chivara, or the last month of rainy season retreat, concludes this Poya Day as well. It is stated in Buddhist history that Lord Buddha started propagation of his teaching on an full moon Poya Day. Confirmation of Buddhahood of Maitri Bodhisattva, Buddha's meeting with three Chatila brothers at the Urvel colony, and Parinibbana of the Arahat Sariputta are some of the incidents which occurred on full moon Poya Day. A large crowd had gathered at the historic Sri Dalada Marigava premises in Kandy today. Many religious programs have also been organized at the temple of the sacred tooth relic. Many devotees observed Sil at the Jayashree Mahabodhi premises in Anuradhapura. Large crowds were present at the Anuradhapura Ruan Valley Mahasaya sacred area as well. Satdharma Bhasha religious programs organized by the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation to mark the full moon Poya Day was live telecast today at the Sri Pradiparama Kandavihara at Palapathala in Matale. Still campaigns, Buddha Puja, Dhamma sermon, Dhamma discussions and many other religious activities were held at the temple under the patronage of Viharadhikari Venerable Pudalugasiaye Dhamma Dasitera.
The largest moon of the year will be visible in another unique space phenomenon today due to the moon getting closer to the Earth. Sri Lankans will be able to experience the scientific planetary phenomenon also called Supermoon today. Accordingly, the moon will be 10% larger than normal visibility. The illumination of the moon will also increase by more than 15% according to space scientists. The space scientist lecturer Gihan Birasekar observed that during a supermoon, the larger moon than normal will be visible. This occurs when the moon enters into an ecliptical orbit around the Earth. The normal distance is around 384,000 kilometers. During the supermoon, the distance is reduced to 356,000 kilometers. This will be visible when the moon enters the ecliptical orbit closest to the Earth tonight. Due to this, the moon will appear larger than normal days. Although several supermoon conditions occur during the year, the largest supermoon of 2025 can be sighted tonight. It would be thought through a telescope or binoculars, the moon can be seen with a better resolution tonight.
A meeting was held recently between the Secretary for Relations with States and International Organizations of the Holy See in Vatican, Archbishop Paul Richard Gallagher, and Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya at the Temple Trees in Colombo. Attention was paid to education, reconciliation and international relations during the meeting. The Prime Minister enlightened the Archbishop regarding the new educational reforms being introduced under the policy framework of the government. The Archbishop, expressing his satisfaction regarding educational reforms, mentioned that education is a new name for peace, expectations and community development. A proposal for an official visit to Sri Lanka by His Holiness Pope Leo XIV was also presented by Archbishop Paul Richard Gallagher. The Prime Minister accepted the proposal, confirming that steps will be taken to make an invitation properly for this purpose. The Prime Minister also accepted an invitation extended by Archbishop Paul Richard Gallagher to visit the Holy See.
Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment says that the government target to increase the number of Sri Lankan migrant workers next year up to 330,000. Chairman of the Bureau, Kosala Wickramasinghe, made these remarks yesterday, participating in the public day organised by the Bureau in Kurunegala. Around 300,000 Sri Lankans go for foreign employments annually. At present in Kuwait, Qatar, Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia and other Middle East countries have a high demand for Sri Lankan workers. Persons who are interested in seeking foreign employment should consider the relevant job agencies registered under Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment. The Bureau requests the public not to pay money to any unregistered job agency seeking employment. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment, Kosala Wickramasinghe, said that people can check whether the relevant job agency is registered one through the Bureau's website. People should not pay money to get an unregistered job agency to get a foreign job. Even a registered agency cannot provide employment opportunities to workers without an agreement. Persons who seek foreign employment must take the status of the employment, salary and period of agreement.
Indian Ocean Tsunami rehearsal program commenced today in line with the World Tsunami Disaster Awareness Day. The main rehearsal program was held at 8:30 in the morning in Kaluthara. This event has been organized by the UNESCO Interstate Marine Science Commission. It was held as a regional exercise coordinated through the Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning and Minimizing Network. This program was held today centering the number 714 Mahavas Kadua South and number 717 the Deshastra West Gramaniladari divisions in the Kaluthara Divisional Secretariat area. The Tangerine Beach Hotel was used as a disaster rehearsal centre and the Kaluthara Tissa National School was used as a safety location. Director General of the Disaster Management Centre, Sampath Kotuwekoda, said that this is not merely a rehearsal but should be held as a preparation to a real disaster situation. Soon after the information received, all relevant parties, including the people, should be active automatically. When the Director General is informed on such a disaster, his first responsibility is to inform it to the Defence Secretary, Deputy Minister and the President. Measures have been taken to inform the general public throughout the island on the disaster situation through media institutions instantly. The Disaster Management Centre also has 15 methods to send messages to people immediately.
එක සතුවත් ක්‍රමවිධි 15ක් තියෙනවා මේ ජනතාව වෙත පණිවිඩ යන්න ඒ 15ම ක්‍රියාත්මක කරලා අපි ජනතාවට පණිවිඩය දැනුම් දෙනවා.
Another tsunami rehearsal was held at the Madampagama Central College in Ambalangoda today. The tsunami rehearsal was carried out in the school premises with the students that they were safely transferred to the Sumana Vidyalaya in Kuliyagoda, and people in the Venamulla Gramanilidari division also joined the rehearsal. Another tsunami rehearsal was held in the Batikla district. It was held at the 167C Gramanilidari division in Kathakudi and Southwest Manmune divisional secretariat area.
Bodies of 3 out of 4 youth that disappeared after drowning in the Deduroya have been recovered. According to the police, the incident occurred at 5 p.m. today. A group who visited the Munneshwaram Kovil in Chilao in the afternoon today had gone to bathing near the Daduroya bridge in Chilao. The police said that several of them were caught in the current while bathing. Residents of the area were able to rescue several elderly women, but 4 youth were disappeared. Bodies of the 3 of the 4 youths have been recovered. Minister Samantha Widyarathna says that fertilizer subsidy will be provided successfully under the QR code system. The minister pointed out that the number of applicants has increased this year to 117,000 compared to last year. Minister Samantha Vidyaratna said that a sum of 2,000 million rupees has been provided for the tea board as fertilizer subsidy along with the QR code 1 month back. More applications have been received this year for fertilizer subsidy. The fertilizer subsidy was given to 84,000 farmers last year. About 94,348 farmers have been registered for this year. The total number of applicants are 117,056. Most small tea estate owners have applied for fertilizer this year. A number is expected to increase to 150,000. An amount of 2,000 million rupees have been allocated to provide fertilizer for them. The minister added that with the provisions of the coconut subsidy of the government, an increase has been shown in the coconut harvest. The minister said that it has become difficult to meet the daily requirements of coconut. Recently, a collapse of the coconut sector was witnessed due to a lack of proper maintenance. Non-commencement of new coconut cultivations was also a factor. Under the new government, coconut subsidy has been implemented after a gap of 5 years. He added that Russia should be thanked for providing 56,000 metric tons of mop fertilizer as a subsidy to the country. The coconut farmers have been provided a bag of fertilizer at a subsidy rate of 4,000 rupees, which is about 9,500 rupees previously. The coconut harvest has been increased and plantation companies and farmers have started new coconut plantations since the plants have stabilized. Coconut plantation program named Kapturu Savia has been launched in the 9th of the month and distribution of coconut saplings will be conducted.
Raids to nab narcotics under the Nation United National Operation are being conducted island-wide continuously. Under 1,205 operations conducted during the past period, 1,197 suspects have been taken into custody. The raids are conducted based on the information received locally. Accordingly, 429 grams of heroin, 597 grams of ice narcotics and 38 kilograms of cannabis have been discovered. 35 arrestees have been kept under detention orders for interrogation. Police say 11 suspects have been directed to rehabilitation. Officials of the Police Special Task Force in Katakurunda camp have found 10 suspected parcels that were floating on the sea close to the Katakurunda beach. Police say after checking the parcels, a haul of hash narcotics weighing 1 kilogram and 759 grams have been identified. The haul of narcotics have been handed over to the Police Anti-Narcotics Bureau. Meanwhile, a stock of Kerala cannabis worth over 8 million rupees has been taken into Sri Lankan Navy's custody at the Kalpitiya Lagoon. The stock was discovered at a special search operation conducted in the Uchamunai Lagoon area in Kalpitiya yesterday. On an information received by the Galimvidunavava police station, 4 suspects have been taken into custody with 2,560 milligrams of ice narcotics in their possession.
A discussion was held yesterday regarding the future program of the government regarding strategic plan of the World Food Programme, Food Safety and Nutrition Safety at the Ministry of Health. A discussion was held between the representatives of the World Food Programme and Director Philip Ward and Minister Dr. Nalinda Jathisa. It has been emphasized that the World Food Programme will contribute in the future and also enhance the nutrition level of mothers and children of the country to create a healthy people with proper nutrition, eradicating malnutrition. Attention was also paid towards creating a proper market for food produced in the country. Ministers paid gratitude for the representatives of the World Food Programme and Director Philip Ward for the contribution rendered in building food systems again to create food and nutrition safety. Philip Ward thanked the minister for providing the necessary environment to maintain the activities of the World Food Programme in cooperation with the government. Deputy Minister Dr. Hasanka Vijayamuni, Secretary to the Ministry of Health and Mass Media Consultant Dr. Anil Jasinghe, along with other officials were attending the discussion. The government has paid attention to develop a remote village in Over province. A group news division, National Television, revealed the country for the first time before several years the difficulties of the remote village. This enchanting village, also called Kohonavela, is recorded in Madalsima Gramanildar division. A specialty, sunshine remains for only 6 hours in the village. The villagers who witness sunshine around 10 am experience dusk and darkness at 4 pm. The location of the Kohonavela village is in a slope surrounded by the Yahanagala, Galulua and Handimagala in Vienagala mountain range. This is the reason for the condition. The village can be reached after a distance of 9 kilometers on foot from Madalsima, which is a risky and extremely difficult journey. 45 families live in the village with the minimum facilities and a lot of difficulty due to the non-availability of water and other essential facilities. Although the electricity has been provided by constructing a bridge over the Poya, in the past the villagers whose main livelihood is farming still live in the eastern houses. About 15 children receive education amidst untold difficulties in a small school in Kohonavela village with the help of only 3 teachers. Chief of the Secretary of the Uva Provincial School Council, Anushka Gokula, and some officials engaged in an inspection tour recently to review the development activities of the village. Tourist attraction to Madalsima can be increased through developing the Kohonavela village targeted with tourism and agriculture.
We now move on to a few development news items in brief. Development projects of Vavaniya, Periyalukkulama, Sidambarapuram and Bogaswava villages commenced yesterday, led by Deputy Minister Upali Samarasinghe. He stated that a sum of 1.1 million rupees has been earmarked for road development in the district under Punarudayata Maga National Programme. Renovation of Udayalavava in Ampara has reached the final stage. The farmers faced difficulties in irrigation activities for about 30 years due to the breach in the distribution outlet of the tank. After informing about this, the government has allocated a sum of 80 million rupees. Polanaruwa Sarabima Batuhena tank renovation commenced yesterday under the guidance of Minister Upali Pannila. 165 families will be benefited and a sum of 4.7 million rupees has been allocated for this purpose. It is also expected to provide water facilities for interim crops and to develop freshwater fishing industry by releasing 25,000 small fish into the tank. Parliamentarian Manjuru Suravira Arachi led the commencement of carpeting of Vatavela Agra Oya Road yesterday under the programme Gamata Arunalu. A stretch of 2.6 kilometers of the road will be renovated at a cost of 36.5 million rupees. Valimada Boralanda Yalpathwela Road, which was carpeted and developed, was handed over to the public yesterday. Under the leadership of the chairman of Valimada Pradesha Sabha, Adit Kumar Disanayaka, a sum of 2 million rupees has been spent for the project and 1,000 families of the area will be benefited. Steps have been taken to renovate Bogavantalawa post office, which is more than 100 years old. The staff and the people of the area were facing enormous difficulties since repairs were not carried out for several years. The postal department has allocated money for the modernization of its official quarters.
Numerous religious activities have been organized in line with the full moon Poya day.
Annual Katina Pinkama of the historic Gedige Rajamaha Viharya in Kandy was held yesterday and today under the Anushasana of Mahanayaka of the Askiriya chapter, Most Venerable Vendarue Upali Thera. The Katina robe was brought to the temple this morning and coloured with golden hue according to the traditions. An almsgiving was offered this morning for 70 Buddhist monks. Then the sacred Katina robe was handed over to the bhikkhus who participated in the rainy season retreat. Annual Katina Pinkama of the Kalaniya Rajamaha Viharya commenced this morning. The Katina Perahara paraded the streets at 4 am. The Pinkama was held under the Anushasana of Chief Incumbent Venerable Dr. Kollupitiye Mahinda Sangarakkida Thera. The pinnacle of the newly constructed pagoda at the Kokavela Historic Boatry premises at Kekanadura in Mathura was unveiled recently. The 20-feet pagoda was constructed under the Anushasana of Venerable Dinagama Sarananda Thera. The newly built 2-storied Sanghavasa at the Sri Siddhartha Piriven Viharya in Bolana, Pasyala declared open today under the patronage of Mahanayaka of the Sri Lanka Ramanya Nikaya, Most Venerable Makulave Vimalanayaka Thera. It has been constructed with the financial assistance given by well-wishers under the Anushasana of Chief Incumbent Venerable Habbaravatte Vimalanyana Thera. A statue of Sangamitta Arahat Therani constructed at the Sri Dhamma Pradeeparama Bhikkhuni Aramaya at Udupila in Uva Paranagama was unveiled yesterday. A Padayatra Adhishtana Puja of the Demodara Gotuala Sri Nagarukkarama temple started this morning. A robe to be offered for the Ruanvali Mahasaya in Anuradhapura is being dispatched on a Padayatra for about 940 kilometers from Demodara to Anuradhapura in this event. Venerable Kammandaluwe Vimalaratna Thera has organized this religious event. A milk rice puja was offered at the Kottaveheragala Rajamaha Vihara in Vellavaya this morning. The Katina Pinkama of the Lankarama Vihara in Los Angeles was held recently under the patronage of Chief Incumbent Venerable Thalangama Devananda Nayaka Thera. It is significant that Buddhist devotees as well as people belonging to other religions were present at this occasion. Annual Katina Pinkama of the International Buddhist Center in Maryland, USA was held recently under the patronage of Chief Adhikarana Sankanayaka of the USA Venerable Katugastota Uparatana Nayaka Thera. The Katina robe was offered according to the traditions with the blessings of Mahasangha. Sri Lankan ambassador to the USA Mahinda Samarasinghe was also present on this occasion. The Poya Day Rice Dansala of the Sri Kataragama Devalaya in Kandy was held at the Devalaya premises today. Rice for this Dansala was gathered from the paddy lands belonging to the Devalaya. The 109th annual Katina Pinkama of the Sri Nandarama Ancient Temple at Taldiavala Aturugiriya commenced recently under the guidance of Chief Incumbent Venerable Kirindikatiya Silavansha Thera. Villagers had organized Dansal in line with the Katina Pinkama. 1,000 milk cows to be slaughtered have been released and distributed freely among dairy farmers in the area was held at the ancient rock cave temple at Handagala in Kabitigo Lava. The dairy farmers were selected from low-income families.
We'll be back with foreign news after a short break.
Welcome back. We move on to news overseas now. At least 66 people have been killed in the Philippines after the most powerful typhoon of the year swept across the central part of the country.
Authorities said 24 people remain missing while hundreds of thousands have been displaced.
The typhoon named Kalmegi caused severe damages in Cebu and other central provinces. Entire towns and vast areas in some of the most densely populated regions were submerged under floodwaters. Most of the reported deaths occurred in these areas. In a separate incident, a military helicopter involved in relief operations crashed, killing all 6 people on board. Officials said most of the fatalities across the region were due to drowning. 4 helicopters has been deployed to assist with relief efforts, and one of them crashed during operations. Typhoon Kalmegi made landfall early yesterday, bringing winds exceeding 130 km per hour. The Weather Bureau said the storm is now moving towards Vietnam. A state of calamity has been declared in Cebu to facilitate relief and recovery efforts. Heavy rainfall triggered widespread flooding as muddy waters surged through the towns and cities. The Philippines typically experience around 20 storms and typhoons each year. In late September, Typhoon Ragasa struck the country, followed by Buhaloi, both causing severe damages.
In the meantime, a cargo plane has crashed during takeoff from Louisville's Muhammad Ali International Airport in Kentucky. At least 7 people are confirmed dead, and officials warn the toll could rise.
A massive fireball lit up the skies over Louisville, Kentucky after a cargo plane operated by UPS crashed during takeoff from the Muhammad Ali International Airport. The aircraft, a McDonnell Douglas MD-11, went down shortly after takeoff, bursting into flames as it hit the ground. Authorities say it was carrying about 38,000 gallons of fuel, triggering explosions that engulfed several nearby buildings. At least 7 people have been killed and 11 others injured. The rescue team still searching for the wreckage. Officials fear the death toll could rise. Cargo carrier UPS confirmed 3 crew members were on board the plane, which was bound for Hawaii. The condition remains unknown. All flights in and out of Louisville Airport were temporarily suspended, while more than 100 firefighters battled the flames that spread across nearby businesses. Both Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation Safety Board have launched investigations to determine what caused the aircraft to go down just minutes after takeoff.
Chinese astronauts aboard the Tiangong space station have achieved what's being called a major breakthrough: the ability to cook real meals in space using a new hot air oven. Footage from the space station showed the Shenzhou 20 crew members celebrating the arrival of the Shenzhou 21 team with an in-orbit barbecue. The 6 astronauts were seen cooking chicken and meat in a new oven and enjoying the meal together. Officials from the Chinese Astronaut Research and Training Center said that the new oven allows a safe cooking in space for the first time. They explained that it included a purification system that absorbed smoke and particles, preventing pollution inside the station. The Shenzhou 21 crew arrived Saturday and will take over operations from the Shenzhou 20, ending the team's 6-month mission.
Moving on to sports news now, Deputy Minister Sugat Tilakaratne says that steps will be taken to construct a 400 metres track at the Bandarawala Central College Sports Ground.
The minister engaged in an inspection tour in order to formulate plans for this purpose. The Deputy Minister inspected the shortcomings of the sports ground and instructed concerned officials for modernisation. He also stated that funds will be allocated in the forthcoming budget as grants for it. Tukshimiran Nihansa of the Mathura Central College, who won silver medal in the 800 metres event in the 4th South Asian Athletics Championship, was appreciated in the District Development Committee meeting held in Mathura yesterday. Coach Amila Hapugala and Principal Priyanta Kumar Singha were also commended on this occasion. That's it for tonight's English News telecast. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night.
දේශීය වෙදකම් තුන බොහෝ